Hey everyone, I figured it's time to do episode 5. It's probably been about 2 weeks or so might as well get it done while I still remember. This will be the Harbour Town episode. Harbour Town is a course I've always wanted to play. I'm not really sure why, and I think it's mainly probably because it's the first course I saw that a PGA tournament has been played on. And this was back in 2009. And stood up in the lighthouse, went up and stood in the lighthouse that sits behind hole number 18. It's quite a view just looking at it from that angle. And ever since then, I kind of wanted to play the course there. So this I had booked. I booked this probably a week or so in advance. When you go to Harbour Town, it's actually a little bit of a pain to get to. Not hard to get to. It's a slow. And when you're going to play a course like that, you want to get there and all that kind of stuff. But you drive, like, Harbour Town, or that area, is sort of like a gated community. So you have to pull, if you're not like a resident or I guess a guest, you gotta pay $5 to get in. And then it's 6 or 7 miles from the little guard shack to the complex. And it was quite busy. They said they had a conference or something going on, but there was really almost nowhere to park. I luckily found a spot, and it's quite. I mean, the clubhouse itself is absolutely gigantic. The facility is very nice. Everybody was very friendly. I got there, I want to say about an hour and a half early, maybe. I pretty much, went in the clubhouse, looked around for a bit. They had some nice stuff, some expensive stuff, but what do you expect? It's a resorty area. It's Hilton Head. I paid for my round, got a ball marker, and headed over to the practice range. Hit some balls for a bit. The range is actually quite small. I don't know, maybe 20 stalls, something like that. Wasn't too many people out there practicing. So I hit balls for a little bit. Actually, it was funny because I ended up hitting balls next to the guy that was in the same group as me. And then I went over to the putting green to putt for a bit. And immediately, even the putting green was lightning fast. It was ridiculous. It was definitely an omen of things to come. Of course, I decided to wear pants, mainly because I figured I wanted the experience, but it was a little bit of a poor choice because it was really hot. But on the plus side, because I was so hot, I was actually really loose. My body was really loose, which really helps because my back tends to stiffen up. I played with Danny, a guy named Dan, and an older gentleman. So we had a threesome. Definitely, there was a lot of older people there. We were definitely, me and Dan were definitely some of the younger people there. Surprisingly, you get a lot of people out there with their wives, couples and stuff like that. We teed off about 12:30. You get a 4 caddy. You have to take a 4 caddy no matter what. I'm assuming it's for pace of play, to help you find your ball and stuff like that. But he was good. He was a good guy, Chris. He helped. I had a 4. That was the first time I ever had a 4 caddy experience, and it helped tremendously. Just knowing, tips and knowing where your ball is and if you're okay and what shots to hit and stuff like that. Definitely an advantage. It was a good time. We played. I don't even know the yards we played. I forget offhand. I have the scorecard. It was probably 6,300-ish, 6,400-ish. I actually played really well. That's one of the better rounds I've had. At least I was proud of it. And I shot an 86, so I was pretty accurate all day. Where the course is actually toughest is around the greens. Well, I'll review the course a little. Everybody says it's really narrow. I wouldn't say the course is narrow. I guess it's yes and no. The fairways seem to be very wide open. The only thing is there's not much rough. You get a decent amount of rough, and then there's just pine straw, trees, and then houses. which that was one of the things, the houses on the course and everything, and they weren't distracting or anything, but they definitely noticeable. So I mean, surprisingly, you don't really end up. I mean, we definitely had 3 different skill levels. Me and Danny were probably around a similar level. An older gentleman who played with us, he was just kind of hit the ball down the middle. Sometimes he's left, sometimes he's right. But I was actually pretty accurate that day, which was good. But I don't think we really had any lost balls unless you hit it into the water. It's a lot less narrow than I think people make it out to be. Maybe playing from like 7,700 yards, it's more of a target game, but it's definitely not from where we were playing. I think the best part about it were the par threes. All the par threes are nice. They all involve some carry. One is just a carryover sand which surrounds the whole green, but the other ones are all water. Very nice holes. Definitely tough par threes. Even they might not be long, 150ish yards, 170 yards in that range from our tee box, but the carry, it's all carry. I was a little, I want to say disappointed. I think I was disappointed with the front 9. It's really nothing all that special besides one of the first par 3, which is a real nice par 3, water on the left side. It's kind of boring, I guess. There's really nothing all that special about it. The back is 100 times nicer. Probably starting on hole 13 or so. I think it's 13. It's the hole that has sort of an islandy. It's a shorter par 4, but it funnels down. The fairway funnels down with 2 trees that overhang, and then the entire green is surrounded by sand, and it's that hole that has like the wooden planks all around the bunker. Definitely a really nice hole, followed by a really nice par 3 over water, and very nice par 5 after that. And then you get to the more famous hole, 16, 17, 18. 16's the hole with the tree out in the middle. I had the good fortune of actually hitting behind that tree a little to the right. Luckily, I was able to get over it, but I left my tee shot right. 17's a gorgeous par 3 that looks out into the bay. I have the pictures up from that. I hit that into the bunker back there, actually. There's a bunker that surrounds the whole thing. And I actually got out of the bunker well, but doesn't really matter there. And I mean, at least at my level, because the greens are so slick. And of course, 18, the famous finishing hole with the lighthouse. Definitely, those 3 holes are definitely... If those 3 holes, if you don't have those 3 holes, it's really just honestly, I'd say those last 6 holes, it's really kind of just a mediocre course if you ask me. And I hate to say that, but those 6 holes, 13 through 18, really make the course. Now, where Harbour Town for me was a cut above is the greens. I never experienced anything like that, and surprisingly, putting I didn't do too bad. I mean, it wasn't great, right in my range, somewhere between 30 and 35. I want to say 34. That's where it's hard. I mean, maybe just because I can't spin the ball on command, but those greens, I mean, it didn't seem to matter if you hit the front, if you could spin it. It just, the ball didn't stop. I mean, that one sand shot I had on 17, when I hit it out of the sand, I didn't even hear the ball land. It landed so softly, and I came out of the bunker, and it was just rolling. And it was just rolled, and it kept rolling. And it was like slow motion. It probably rolled 20 feet past the hole, and I probably landed it 2 or 3 feet, 4 feet behind the cup. It just, they were on a different level. It's, if you landed your ball in the middle of the green without any spin, you might as well kiss it goodbye. I mean, it's going to roll all the way off the back. On top of that, all of these greens were tiny. I mean, the one green, I don't know, 18 I think was the smallest green they said, but number 12 or 13, I think it was 12. I mean, this green couldn't have been more, where the pin location was, couldn't have been more than 15 to 20 yards deep. And I had a good shot, and then my approach shot, I landed just over a bunker, and they said it came up, hit the bunker, and it just, or the top of the bunker, and it rolled off 20 yards, and then probably another 10 yards off into the fringe. And that's really what made that course challenging, especially when you're at my skill level, amateur, 15-ish handicap, you're going to lose most of your strokes in the short game. But overall, it was definitely an awesome day. 18, probably one of the greatest holes I've seen on a golf course. Definitely worth it. I mean, it's pricey, but if you ever get a chance, check it out. You'll be happy with the back nine. Overall, it was just a great experience, and I don't know if I'd do it again for the full price, but if I had the opportunity, I don't know. I think if I got a little better and kept improving, I think I'd definitely go back and give another shot from a longer tee box. But just that's episode 5. If you have any questions about the course or if I missed anything, please let me know.